Hi guys, my name is Anna. I am a 29-year-old mechanical engineering student, and today we are actually going to be learning how to make math notes from a textbook, how to take math notes from a textbook. Honestly, this changed my whole math game, I'm going to tell you. I was able to get A's in college algebra, pre-calculus, calculus 1, so this is definitely a must if you're in any program that requires extensive math. All right. I love making math notes. This is the process though, so don't start taking notes. If you're hungry, go ahead and grab something to eat and then go ahead and begin this video. This is a hands-on video, so when I tell you to get supplies, go ahead and get supplies. When I tell you to get your textbook, go ahead and get your textbook, and let's do this together. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this video. Also, I realized throughout the video, instead of saying colon, I said semicolon, so just keep that in mind, okay? All right, let's go ahead and get started. This is a hands-on experience, so don't come here just trying to watch. Like, grab your textbook. That's Marshall. Your math textbook. It can be online, it can be an actual textbook. Grab that. Of course, you're going to need paper. This is going to be a long video. Get ready. Paper, hands-on experience. You can use line paper, graph paper. I like using blank paper, okay? Then you're gonna need pens. A red pen, a black pen, and a blue pen. A pencil, and highlighters. I have orange, blue, green, pink, and yellow. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna be using a trigonometry book today. You can use any book. If you saw my last video, my math video, it was about how every math textbook is laid out. And we're gonna be using that same concept to make your notes. I like to do my notes the day before class. I never show up to a math class without having notes made, okay? Because I am that person. So we're gonna start with let's do 2.1. Page 81, perfect. So go to the chapter that you're in, and you're gonna notice straight away that you have your introduction page. It tells you what you're gonna learn. Also, it might also tell you how the chapters are broken up into. Go ahead and open into your introduction page, and let me bring it a little closer because I feel like you can't get the essence because you're too far away. Grab your piece of paper. All right. And you're gonna put the name of the section on the top piece of your paper. For example, this right here tells you what you're gonna be learning. 2.1, section 2.1. So with your black pen, write 2.1 on the top, and the title of this chapter, which is radian and degree measures. You write what yours says. And then you're gonna underline your title. So you should have something like this. This is your title. This is the easiest part. Everything's kind of easy. Now you're gonna name the bottom right corner, name it. You're gonna write your numbers on the bottom right corner of both pages. Okay, bottom right, page 1, circle, page 2, circle. Okay, then what I like to do is I will draw 6 circles with this pencil at the bottom of the title. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Draw 6 circles. Yes, I'll explain this in a little bit. Now let's go ahead and grab our highlighters. We're gonna start with the yellow highlighter. We are gonna be making what I like to call a table of what the colors will mean. So all you have to do is draw the highlighters. Draw a line with the highlighters. So I like to do that one, and then I like to do this one. Okay, so now you should have a page that looks like this. Okay. Now I want you to grab your black pen again, and on the yellow line, write definition. Okay, definition. And then on, excuse me, and then on the blue line, what do I write on the blue line? Okay, on the blue line is read. Okay, and then on the orange line, we're gonna have example. On the green line, we're gonna have, what do I usually write? See, this is what I should have brought my notes with. My green one is gonna be instructor. And then my pink one is going to be important. Okay, so now you should have something that looks like this. Awesome setup. That took no time. Now, this is exactly how I read it. This is my first time with this subject. So I'm actually looking at the subject for the first time. So I'm patient and kind towards myself. I am making these notes for my class. I'm not making these notes to study them as I make them. I'm making them paying no attention to anything else, paying attention to nothing, because again, this is my first time with the subject. So be patient and kind with yourself. Let's go. Introduction page. I keep looking. This is important. I don't even read. Look for the first bold letter. Oh, look, bold letter. That is a definition. So we're gonna start with that. Trigonometry. Okay, you want to use, your blue pen for definitions. Go ahead and grab your blue pen. And with definitions, of course, we need to show what each area is. So I want you to draw a bullet at the end here of your top left side and write definition, semicolon, underline the whole thing like this. See? And then we're gonna put the first bold letter I saw. Let's see, trigonometry. So I like to do little stars. We'll write, trigonometry. Semicolon, underline. See? And then we're gonna write the definitions. Means, measurements of triangles. Let's do it, write it. And you're gonna write the definition exactly how it is written in the book. Do not try to revise it. Write it exactly like this. You're learning this. No need to revise it because you don't know what it means yet. Okay, next. Look, there's no more bold letters there. I'm turning the page. Next page, right here. Any bold letters? Look, there are bold letters. Okay, but each section of your learning chapter, guess what, is broken up into little areas. So you'll learn throughout the chapter, you'll learn, oh, okay, this specific section has a title, and that title is called angles. See, I know it's a title because it's bold, it's on the top, it's by itself, and then it starts describing angles. So go ahead and grab your pencil. You're gonna do another bullet point right here, and you're gonna write the title of that specific paragraph. Angles. Semicolon, underline, just like this, okay? Now, in my how every math book is structured, you learn that every math book is structured the same. First comes definitions, then comes like a drawing or an example. No, first comes definition, then comes a theorem, then comes like examples of that theorem. Keep in mind, that's the same thing. I see on here Again, we have some more bold lettering. Love it. So I like to highlight everything after I've written everything. But if you're really wanting to do it step by step, then anything that's written in blue, like your definitions, you're gonna go ahead and highlight yellow because yellow is your definitions. Now remember, definitions are important. This is the vocabulary of math, okay? This is how you're gonna talk. These are the words you're gonna use when you talk about math. So definitions are important. The book will talk specifically throughout the whole chapter. We'll use these words to help you describe what math is. Important. So I like to highlight the definition. Okay, next, angles. New subsection. Look for any new definitions. There's so many in this little paragraph. Start writing each one, okay? First of all, we know they're words that we need to remember. We know their vocabulary because they're bold. So don't even read the whole paragraph. Go straight to those, write down what they are, write down the definition, and then come back. I'll be back because there's a lot of these. Real quick, remember your definitions, you're writing in blue pen. Grab your blue pen, do the same star, write down the word you're defining. For example, this one's initial side. Initial side. So I'm writing initial side, semicolon, underlining it. See, blue pen. It doesn't matter that this isn't there. That is showing you you're in angles for this section, okay? Blue pen. You can highlight the word. Again, yellow means definitions. So go ahead and highlight it and write the meaning. Do that with every definition you see. Also, in trigonometry, there's a lot of shapes and stuff. In most textbooks, when they give you a definition, they won't show you, oh, go to figure 1.1 to view. If there is a figure, then you go to the figure, you draw the figure, and you draw it right below the definition. For example, right here, I'm defining initial side, terminal side, and vertex, and it gave me a picture of where each one is located. I'm gonna draw that right there, okay? And with my blue marker, I'm going to highlight my drawing because blue means read, and read I shall. Okay, see? Very easy stuff, very easy stuff. Almost done writing my definition. So I forgot to mention, when you add a figure to your notes, you need to name the figure. This figure, I'm naming 2.1. Okay, here's the figure 2.1, and at the end of my definition, I write f.21 because that is the figure I need a reference to get a visual, and I need to read the drawing to figure out what that is. I hope that makes sense. Most textbooks don't have this, so if you don't have a figure, then just keep writing the definitions. All right, so all my definitions under that specific category of angles, and it talked about angles, is done. So I have something that looks like this. Every definition is written, every read is highlighted, and so on. Now we're gonna move on. So on this specific paragraph, there were no examples except for these that were given, but they weren't actual, like, let us work out together examples. Because of that, let's just go ahead and move on. So our first page is full. We're going to go ahead and turn around. It's very important what you write here. Go ahead and grab your black pen, and we're going to write 2.1 radian and degree measures continued. Okay, looks like this. Now, what you can do with your highlighters is write the same key that you have on the top in the back. I only write it once because after you keep doing it, you know what's going on. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next paragraph on our chapter. We know it's the next paragraph because it's 4 letters and it's big, and then there's a paragraph after it. Okay? So, with that being said, you're gonna grab up your pencil and grab and put a bullet on the top left there. You're gonna name that bullet what your next paragraph is, which is radian measures. Measure. Perfect. Okay, like so. See that? Semicolon, underline. Okay, you're not gonna read anything. Again, you're not reading. You're gonna look for the same first bold lettering, because that means a definition, vocab you need to remember. So you go down, oh look, vocab, measure of an angle, and central angle are vocab words. So let's go ahead and write our definitions. Again, definitions are written in blue pen. And you know it's a definition because you put a star and you're gonna put your definition. Let's go ahead and write down all the definitions. All right, now that our definitions are written, we move on to the next page and we see a yellow box here. What boxes usually mean is this is a theorem. This is very important. You need to make sure you know this. So let's go ahead and write down the theorem. We're gonna copy that exact same theorem onto your piece of paper, exactly how it's written, exactly how it's drawn. We're not gonna skip any steps, and I'm gonna show you how I do that. You're gonna go ahead and grab your pencil, okay? And usually with, again, theorems, they're gonna be in a box, okay? So I like to write down what my theorem is called. It looks like this one is called the definition of a radian. So we're gonna write that. And then I'm gonna write the whole definition in picture, and we're gonna put the whole theorem. We'll draw a box around the whole theorem, okay? So I'm gonna work on this, you work on your theorem. Okay, so on my notes, I finished writing my theorem, exactly how it was written. I boxed it up to show that it is a theorem, and now I'm gonna go ahead and highlight it in pink because it is a theorem and it is very, very important. See? Now, it looks like after your theorem, there it gives you your first example. So, and all I did was turn the page to go to the next page because I want to know the example that is given for the theorem. I don't want to know everything that's in between. I don't want to read every single word. I just need an example of the theorem, okay? And you know it's an example because it will say example on it. And it is an example right after the theorem. Okay, so we're gonna move on to a second piece of paper. Let me show you how to transition. So on the top, you're gonna write again what section it is and the name of that specific section. Oh, with black pen. Grab your black pen. And write your title again. Continued all at the end, obviously. Underline it. You're gonna write your page number. This is page number 3. The page number on the back, and this is page number 4. And now you are ready to move on to your next page of notes, okay? And this is important because let's say your notes get separated. Well, now you know where they belong. They have a page number and they have a section number. So let's move on to the example. We're gonna be using pencil with this. Oh, where did my pencil? There it is. And you're gonna write example. And I just do example 1. Oh. Here, let me show you how I write it. I do example 1, semicolon, and box up the example. Okay, remember, on our key, examples are orange. So let's go ahead and highlight that whole box orange. And now we're gonna write the examples. It looks like there's a total of 3 examples given here. You're gonna write every single example, and it is separated by a letter. So there's example A, example B, example C, okay? So let's go ahead and start with example A. Again, with your pencil. Example A, period, parenthesis. And you're gonna write down all your examples, okay? So right after you write your A, write down what the instruction is, and then write down what is given. So on here it has theta equals 13 pi divided by 6. And then I'm gonna write down exactly what it says and how it's worked through. All right, so I'm done writing my first example. I like to make a habit of circling or squaring off my answers because it's nice for the teacher when they're reading your work. But now we're gonna move on to the second example. Again, with your pencil, you're gonna write at the bottom example. This time let's do number 2. Put in a box, semicolon, and we're gonna highlight in orange. Okay. And we're gonna go ahead and move on to example letter B. And the instructions are the same. So instead of rewriting the instructions, I am just gonna put quotes, okay? And what that means is I'm doing the same, like ditto. That's what it means. And we're gonna go ahead and write our last 2 examples, and then we will go ahead and move on. Okay, so all my examples are written. It's time to move on to the back page. Now remember how we move on to the next page is we get our black pen and we write down the section number. This one's 2.1, the name of the section, which is radian and degree measure. We underline the whole section. Don't forget to put continued. So let's go ahead and move on. I'm done with the examples. Again, not really reading much right now. I'm done with all the examples, and now it looks like we're starting a new paragraph, so a new section within this section. And we know it's that because it's in bold letters. So we're gonna go ahead and grab, where's this thing? Where's my pencil? Our pencil, bullet point, write down the name of the new paragraph, if you will, underline it, semicolon, and everything. And guess what? It starts all over again. Look for your definition. Don't just read and find it. Look for it. You know it's bold lettering. You know it's black. Write it down. And then it looks like, look, there's a theorem, your next theorem. Okay? You didn't even read all of this. All you did was look for a definition, wrote it down, move down, look for the theorem. Here's the theorem. Write down the theorem. Here's the example. Write down the example. That's literally it, you guys. That's how you write notes. And guess what? When you turn the page, look, new paragraph. You know it's a new paragraph because it's bold lettering and it says, you know, the name of your paragraph. It's a new paragraph. Look for the bold letter. Oh, look, bold lettering, definition. Oh, look, there isn't a theorem here. Move on then, write the example. That's how you make clean and concise notes. After you're done with your notes, you can put them together like so. And then guess what? You have amazing notes that you can reference. Now, the 6 circles above are how I mark off the amount of times I study these notes. I make myself read the whole thing. I make myself do all the examples after the lecture. Now that the teacher has given me a lecture and can define my notes a little more, and now I can study them. I did a study video, I think it was like pre-calc or calculus. You can reference that, and literally I teach you how to study your notes, which are notes that I've made. Real quick, in class, you'll have these notes next to you, obviously, but you need to learn how to make in-class notes. All right, and all you have to do is, this is all I do, is I'll grab a piece of paper, write section, let's reference this section, section 2.1 in class notes, underline, see, like that. And then I will write down her examples. I won't write down her definitions because the definitions I've already written. No need to waste time on that. I just write down examples, and I write down examples exactly how I do on my notes. Like that, and I'll highlight them. And now guess what? After your first day of class, now you have 2 whole sets of notes that you can study. 2 of them. I am not going to rewrite notes. I don't have time for that. I have a real job. I'm a real adult that needs to have shelter and food and clothing. You know, I need to pay for those. So this is how I do it.